Welcome back to Tailored Talks. I am Brad.
And I'm Will.
And we have a very special guest today.
Noah.
The incomparable Noah Williams.
Which camera am I looking at? Which is the main one here?
There are cameras all over.
Oh, this guy. Okay, cool. Hello.
The creative director at Windsor Jewelers, right here in Charlotte. Style icon
Extraordinaire.
extraordinaire.
Do my best.
Creator of a lot of OMJ content.
Going on 2.5, 3 years now.
yeah.
Consistently. Some before that, but yeah.
Amazing.
And our friend, Noah Williams. So welcome to the podcast, sir.
Excited
welcome
to be here.
back
Yeah.
to the podcast.
I was trying to think. That was probably 2 years ago.
Yeah.
That I was here. Yeah.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, and before we get in today, we got a great podcast today. The last time Noah was on, we did a draft of the most stylish TV shows, and it was great. And it was also our second podcast we ever did.
I
So-
didn't realize that was the second.
Yes, I think we've all gotten better, especially Will and I. Noah, you were great on that podcast. Today, we're going to level it up a little bit, and we're going to do a draft of the most stylish movies. So these are very subjective, right? Don't come at us if we don't mention your movie. We're going to come at this probably more from a menswear perspective and probably more from a dressing up perspective. Streetwear guys, sorry, we're probably not going to talk about too many movies. Maybe great fashion in those, but we're not going to talk a lot about them. And I was thinking back on it too. I remember for Noah, and Noah's been on a lot of podcasts where he's talked about his story. So I don't want to do that on this podcast. But truly, you came to Charlotte in
2016.
2016,
Yeah.
late 2010s, so 16, 17, 18. Noah really quickly became very well known in Charlotte from a style, especially on a social media. I will not call you an influencer.
Thank you.
You're much more than that. But I can very vividly remember seeing your stuff probably in the 17, 18 range.
Yep.
And thinking, oh, Charlotte actually does have a guy knows what he's talking about on Instagram. And I will say there have been many, you've seen it, we have had many guys try and come and show us their Instagram. And they're all, sorry,
That's a bold move to come in and show somebody your Instagram.
they're wanting free stuff.
Yeah.
They're all terrible. They've been maybe into fashion for a year.
Sure.
And then they start posting pictures on Instagram and they think this is a career opportunity, I believe. Thankfully, over the last few years, this has gone away. But I do remember vividly thinking, all right, Noah's the only legitimate person that I would want posting my stuff, OMJ stuff, on his Instagram. And then we did a styled shoot collab at the Duke Mansion
Yeah.
with Sarah, Soho, shout out to Soho Events.
Yeah. The best.
And we did a tux for you.
We did.
For that
I
event.
still wear to this day very proudly.
This was 2020.
Yeah.
Lovely.
So I was going back, and so we've known each other for a
That
very
was
long
6
time.
years ago.
Yeah, that's
That's
wild.
insane.
And somehow I think Noah is more mature than both Will and I, and he's 10 years our
Oh, totally.
junior.
Totally.
Depends on the day, if you ask my wife or not.
Yeah.
But yeah.
But anyways, I wanted to share that, but would love to do a wrist check with you guys.
So what do you have on the wrist, Noah?
Today I have a special one. So this was actually the suit that you're wearing to fully lead into. Was what we did for my wedding last year, which was just so much fun. And I've worn it quite a bit since then. And that's something I think we can riff a little bit at a different time on. But when you're shopping for suits, and not to get too much into like shop talk or whatever, but when you're doing your suiting, especially for your wedding, if you're someone, and I'm lucky enough, like you said, I mean, I've been in menswear in some form or fashion since 2014. I have a pretty good wardrobe, right? But I still wanted something because I knew my summer wardrobe wasn't as good as it maybe could have been. When we sat down, I said, look, I want something special. I want something unique. But I also want something that I can wear outside of this one day. Because it's a large expense for anybody. It doesn't matter, who you are, a custom made to measure garment is an investment, right? So this was a beautiful brown seersucker suit that you did that I have just cherished and loved. I wear the jacket quite a bit. I don't wear it necessarily together as much. But with that, there were 2 watches last year that really marked, well, one 2 years ago when I got engaged, and then one for last year, which turned 30, got married, bought a house, and
All the things.
yeah, it feels very old to me, but it was a big year. A watch that I'd had on my radar for probably the better part of a decade was what I am wearing today, which is my Patek 5167A, the Aquanaut. And funny story, the true test of if someone really loves you or not, and will be a good partner, is if the night before you're closing on your first home, you get the call on a watch like this, which I did. It was a surprise at dinner with my good friend Ben, who I'm now working with. And yeah, so this watch accompanied me to our wedding as well. I didn't wear it on the wedding day, but I wore it on the trip for that 2-week period. So pairing this watch with this suit feels really good and a fun decision. And it's something you can dress down. So I've got it with a polo today. It's a fun kind of Johnny collar on. That was way more than you asked.
What a great story. I love this.
Yeah.
This is exclusive.
We could wax poetic all day about the horological world, right?
Yeah.
All the
What about you, Will?
anecdotes.
What do you have on?
Gosh, this trusty number, a 1989 Rolex Datejust. That's two-tone with a black tapestry dial.
Black
and
tapestry
this was my 40th birthday gift to myself. So it's
phenomenal.
reference 16233. Just a really quintessential Rolex, and really one that I've enjoyed.
Yeah, that's the best. And that's where I started when I was able to get into Rolex. And they're just such phenomenal watches. With inflation, it's hard to look at anything now and think, oh, that's a great deal compared to what it was 10 years ago, have you? But still just such a great way to get into the brand.
So good.
That was a great deal.
So good.
Yeah.
And you, sir?
I have a 1970 Omega Seamaster on today.
Oh, it's phenomenal.
It's a linen dial. But no, this
You're
is
a dial guy.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
do
you
love
are a
my
dial
dials, and I love, as y'all know, I love my leather strap.
Yeah.
Perhaps
So-
a bit of sailing after this podcast.
It is funny to think when that came out, it was a sportier watch. Yeah.
Yeah.
So cool.
And as anybody that's listened to the podcast knows, we love vintage. It's, I think it embodies, at least for me, simplistic. It's not overdone. You can get a nice piece, and it doesn't break the bank. And it's a way to move in the world of the watch world before you are lucky enough to A, have a watch like Mr. Williams here,
Sure.
B, have a wife who's comfortable with you getting that.
Semi-comfortable. I hope she doesn't watch this, actually. But.
That may have been a deal breaker.
And not to cut you off, but wearing one of the 10 watches on Instagram nonstop, because there's only really 10 that you just constantly see. I think vintage is such a more interesting move in a lot of context than, which I love them, but an Aquanaut, a Nautilus, a Daytona, a Submariner, these things are wonderful. And if you are fortunate enough to have them, that's amazing. God
When
bless.
I grow up.
Yeah, but it's when something becomes a stereotype, it is usually for a good reason, and the stereotypical dive watch is the Rolex Submariner. If you look at the design ethos of 90% of the watches right now on the market, they look like that. Now, they look like that because it is the best at what it does, in my opinion. Other people may feel different ways, but it becomes a little less an extension of your personality. If I see that at the airport, I don't know. I'm actually probably going to assume you aren't necessarily into watches. Whereas if I saw you with that beautiful vintage Omega, I'm going to go, oh, that guy's really into watches, and probably more interesting to talk to.
I love that. And I will say, too, there's the last piece I'll say on the watches. I love how watches are also synonymous with key milestones in somebody's life.
Absolutely.
I love that. It's the stories of the watch that makes it so good.
Yeah.
So
Absolutely.
One more thing to go off of that. You got the watch guy
can
on
find
here,
watches
and
at
you got
Windsor
him
Jewelers.
talking. Yeah. WindsorTime.com. There is, who's the guy that came up with I Took a Pill in Ibiza? The artist, the singer. Mike Poser.
Yes.
Mike
yes,
Poser.
yes, yes,
He has a video that's going viral right now about him talking about how when he was at the peak of fame and all of this stuff, he bought a Rolex Day-Date. And he talked about the anxiety that it gave him to own that Day-Date. And now he has a Timex, and he loves it, and it's the best thing in the world. And he's gotten a lot of positive praise for that. And I agree to them. Things should not own you. At some point, and maybe it'll be up when this comes out, I don't know, I want to do sort of a reaction video talking about, hey, it isn't the watch, it's because you bought the watch for the wrong reason.
Yeah.
So things inherently, again, should not own you. They should not feel any like power or control over you. I have far less money than Mike Posner does, and I enjoy these things because I'm buying them for me and what it means to me. And you're buying a piece of really art, I feel, for your wrist that comes with craftsmanship of hundreds of years and the appreciation. So really the reverse to that would be every time I look at my wrist, I think of the wonderful memories and the work that went in to get that watch, not, oh, I did all this cool stuff, let me get this thing to show other people. It's truly an intrinsic thing that I think is wonderful.
I love that.
And there's an authenticity to that as well that must be applauded.
Hugely.
I love it. I love it. All right, guys.
Movies.
We're ready to talk some movies? Some movies? All right. The rules are going to be simple. We're going to do a few rounds. Only rule is nobody can pick James Bond movies. So
It's too easy.
I was gonna
As I was watching, so they all go off of Netflix
I saw
tomorrow. So I've been binging them all week.
Oh man,
So
good, so good. All right. Rules of the game being no Bond movie. Noah, since you're our special guest today, we'll let you get the first pick.
Thank you. I'm going to take it back to watches almost immediately, and I'm going to go 2018 Crazy Rich Asians.
Oh,
Now,
Very nice.
it's an interesting movie because there is a vast range of clothing, and the menswear and the tailoring is phenomenal, but then the attention to detail and different things that they did was so interesting to me. So there was a video that came out, one of the acquaintances I'm lucky to have, Eric Wind, did. If you guys remember early on in
shout
that
out
film.
to Eric Wynn.
Yeah.
And win vintage.
Yeah, a big guy. He actually did the product placement for the Rolex Daytona that was gifted in the beginning of that film. And he talked about he had 48 hours to source that watch. And he had just sold that watch to a collector in Singapore. So it happened to be in Singapore at the time. I forget where they were filming, in that general part of the world. So he talked about the anxiety-ridden 48 hours of, because, and we'll get into other movies as well, obviously, but a lot of times with films, they're doing prop watches, right? Because they need 2, 3, 4 of them, and they can't have a $5, $6, $7 million Daytona on set. So this watch was flown by a security guard.
Was it a Paul Newman?
It was. It was flown by a security guard to the set. Security guard was there, actually fell asleep on the set with the watch. But yeah, and that actually went on to be featured. Rolex is obviously a huge supporter of actors and cinema. In their, it was like the 2019 or 2020 large ad that they did for the Oscars. That scene was featured in there. And it's, if I can find a clip, I'll send it to you guys to maybe share or something. But just such a cool moment, and it's something you always think these productions have huge planning, which they do, but that was just really a fun, interesting tidbit. Tailoring is also phenomenal.
It is. The book is insane from just a general conversation. So I've read the book. I saw the movie as well, but interesting in the book, there's a kind of a no holds bar, and obviously Philippe, coming from Hong Kong, it was interesting talking with him about. They're a lot more blunt. Your new money, old money.
Sure.
And just these pieces, watches, attire that kind of delineate somebody from what box do you fall into.
Sure.
So,
But it was even interesting, previous to the scene I just mentioned with the guy being gifted the Daytona, the wife is the old money in that scene, and you see her spending, it was like $1 million or $2 million on like diamonds and stuff before, and then also got him that as here you go. And his character was like military and then had come out and was doing better in life, but you still see this dichotomy of these two different worlds. And even though they're both successful, it's come from very different paths. So it was interesting there as well.
It's cool, too, to think that Henry Golding, right,
Yeah.
that he is a watch guy.
Huge watch
He's
guy.
also a bit of a sartorial scion, if you will.
Yeah, absolutely.
So it is cool to see that he appreciates good watches and a nice suit as well, and wears them both quite well.
Absolutely. Awesome. Crazy Rich Asians.
All
First pick.
right. So I guess it's my
I'll
turn.
let you go, sir.
All right. So I'm going to actually go in chronological order.
Okay.
Okay. Yeah, I'm going to jump around.
There we go. I love it. I love it. So I'm going with 1955's To Catch a Thief. Alfred Hitchcock, of course, famously starring Cary Grant and Grace Kelly, filmed on the French Riviera. So it gives a real nod to Riviera chic, just from a sartorial perspective, just over the top. It hits every mark, and just one that for me has been evergreen really since, gosh, I think I first saw it in 2005. And around that time as well, I'd picked up a physical copy of it back when you would do such.
Sure.
And I would literally...
Was it a DVD or was it a tape?
It was a DVD.
Are you sure?
It had wonderful special features. I should get it on VHS, though, as well. But some wonderful bonus features. And I would literally play it on a loop. And I would try and mimic every outfit worn by Cary Grant in the film.
See how we got here today, then.
Right, indeed. Just really fantastic, though. From Belgian loafers to midnight blue tuxedo that was actually owned by him as well. Something that I actually just created for myself here at OMJ. So for me, it is honestly the ultimate in stylish film.
I love that. I love that.
And you, sir?
All right, so I'm going to go with The Great Gatsby. We could certainly you could do 1974 with Robert Redford, but I'm actually going to go with I guess we could lump them both together, but Baz Luhrmann's 2013 Great Gatsby with DiCaprio.
Yeah. Possibly one of the best soundtracks of all time.
This movie was pretty special for me. We had just started OMJ when it came out, 2013. And so I was hyper-focused with what's going on elsewhere, what's going on in the movies. And so every part of that movie I was really fascinated with. Love the style. They just did a great job with it. But to take it a step further, at the time, our factory, RIP to our North Carolina factory, our shirting factory in Garner, North Carolina, we were at the factory. They were making, Brooks Brothers did a Gatsby collection.
And it was on their website. You could shop the Gatsby collection.
For that movie. That factory made the items for that collection. It was an elevated collection. It was their black fleece.
Yep.
I still have a few of the pieces, actually.
Oh, how cool.
Interestingly enough, we're in the factory because this is where the OMJ, Old Mason Jar shirts were made. And there's tons of this stuff. So it's the white Oxford that they did. We're in Garner, North Carolina. They don't care. Yeah, take your pick. So Philippe and I were like, we've literally hit the jackpot here.
Yeah.
Along with some Tom Brown shirts as well.
Sure.
And I just remember it was like a full circle, this was all meant to be moment with that. So going beyond the style of the movie, which is great. And I thought DiCaprio was awesome in the movie. And
Fantastic.
even the part where he's like talking about his silk shirts he had flown in and he's throwing them off his balcony. I can remember that vividly. But I think it's like the story of that movie is why it's like special to me at the time in my life and when we were starting this.
Yeah. I'll never forget this scene, and it's quite prevalent in the book as well. I was just coming out of high school, and we had read the book. Sorry, I know. But we had read the book, and the scene where he comes in to meet Daisy in the little cottage next door.
In the seersucker suit?
And it was a white with, was it a pink shirt underneath? But it had a just fantastic tie bar, club collar, really smart, really cool. I remember seeing that suit and just thinking, oh man, if I could ever, like that would be great.
It was so good.
Yeah.
So, Great Gatsby.
And it's modernized the 20s as well, the flapper era.
Hugely. Yeah.
It did. Yeah.
It's really cool.
Yeah.
All right.
One day we'll get a house and Newegg or
Yeah.
East egg, West egg. Here we come.
So back to me. Are we
sir.
snaking?
Yeah,
What are we doing?
no
Okay,
snake.
we are
Yeah,
going.
back to you.
All right. So I'm going to keep it quite modern and not too far past that year. So I believe it was 2015 that this movie came out. Kingsman.
Yep.
Kingsman is such a fun film franchise. Say that 5 times fast. Because I think it takes a lot of the aspects we love from Bond, and then it almost makes fun of it a bit at time. But then there's a light, fun, playful element to it that I think the earlier Bond films, which we're not doing, had that kind of campy, fun nature. And
Sure, the
then
Roger Moore
Craig made it quite a serious thing. But Kingsman, three or four movies.
Yeah.
3 for sure, maybe 4. So much fun. And I think what they did, similar to how Brooks Brothers had the Gatsby collection shoppable, was they partnered with Mr. Porter, and they had a phenomenal lineup that you could shop. And I think it was softer for the first movie, far more prevalent in the second movie. You had Jaeger LeCoultre making a Kingsman edition watch with the cool
Now
crown
you're
on
speaking my
top
language.
and the little pointy thing. And it's so much fun. And again, as film nerds and watch nerds and all the nerds, and we love it all, right? We're gear guys. You're always looking at these films and you're going, what are they wearing? Then you'll go back and there's different Instagram accounts and stuff that you can look at now. But to be able to just to go on Mr. Porter and see, oh, that's the smoking jacket. How cool. And even if, which I couldn't at the time afford to buy any of this stuff, still probably couldn't for some of the items, you can at least see it and feel even that more immersed in the film because all the stuff is right there to see. So I thought that was quite fun.
And a lot of it's filmed at Huntsman.
Yeah,
Exactly.
Yeah.
absolutely.
It could
Oxford's
literally
not
be
Rhodes.
called the Huntsman.
Yeah,
Yeah. And you can Seville Row. And,
Yeah.
You know, you can literally go there for 10x, which you can come
yeah.
to OMJ and have made.
Ah, you don't need it. Yeah, you can just stay here. You don't have to go over there.
Agreed.
But anyway, very cool. And then lastly, as the one wearing glasses here, the eyewear I thought was quite cool as well. And how they had, and I think the second and third films, the uniform, thicker set kind of black glasses I thought were just so cool that everybody wore. And Colin Firth. How can you not love Colin Firth?
So
Colin
great.
Firth, to go from like Kingsman to the staircase.
Yeah.
Sure.
Yeah, it was quite a departure. But yeah, Kingsman, we'll go franchise overall. But I think so much fun. If you haven't watched it, I looked actually before here. It's on Disney Plus now. You can see it there.
You know what? That probably would have been a good thing, and we'll add that in the show notes.
Where you can see these
stream
films.
these. That's
Yeah.
a great. That's
you
a
can
great-
see them all on Amazon. You have to rent them, but I think different.
Yeah, I'll
stores
try
like
and
that.
find where you can watch them for free
Yeah, that'd be cool.
if you're subscribed to
Nothing like good homework,
the
right?
streaming
Yeah.
service. Yes,
Let's give you more work, Brad. That's what you really need.
yeah, I love it.
All right, so I'm going to stay in the world of Hitchcock. 1959's North by Northwest. Again, Cary Grant opposite Eva Marie Saint. Just so fantastic. There's a particular, actually, train scene where Cary Grant's character, Roger Thornhill, is wearing a pair of sunglasses that are just so emblematic of the era, but yet there is like element of transcendence as well, because you see them nowadays, actually. Oliver Peoples worked with the Cary Grant estate and his family and actually came out with a really interesting collection of sunglasses a few years ago. And so you can actually own a bit of cinematic history.
How many pairs do you have?
Once worn by Cary Grant. So here's the thing with that. I have
more than one, I'm guessing.
a few pairs of Oliver Peoples. I do not have the Cary Grants yet.
Wow.
They have a Gregory Peck edition and a few others, but so definitely on the wish list.
Yeah.
But just really fantastic. The gray suit in particular that he wears, the Brooks Brothers white shirts that he's in, the tailoring is just top notch. And in fact, one little interesting detail for me at least is this particular gray suit, which of course I'm sure you guys can recall the airplane and the cornfield and so forth, that whole particular frame does not have a center or side vents, which is interesting.
Oh, interesting. I
So
don't remember.
it cuts a slimmer silhouette, if you will.
Yeah.
And I always just found
So
that
no vents at all.
no vents at all, which I'm coming for you, Brad. So anyway, so 1959's North by Northwest again, just a lovely
happened?
Hitchcock movie.
What happened to Brooks Brothers?
I know.
I think it was probably just the private equity train, but I remember, again, to take it back to your pick with Gatsby, Brooks Brothers, when I got into menswear, was like the top of my world. And granted, I didn't know that much, but I just knew. I remember one day, me and my dad were in North Lake Mall, also rest in peace.
Rest in peace.
And there was a Brooks Brothers, and he said, when you make it, that's the place that you shop. And that always stuck with me.
1818.
Yeah.
1818, not the 346.
Just fallen off. They've just fallen off, though, and it's quite sad. We're talking through these different movies and these iconic moments, that signature collar that they have.
The role.
It's sad. I hope they come
Yeah,
back.
yeah. Look, we've got Abercrombie and Fitch right around the corner.
Yeah.
Making a comeback.
Yeah.
You never say never.
Absolutely.
I think my take, and I think Brooks Brothers was at the very unfortunate intersection of you have this big box retail in a time where things are going hyper local.
Yeah.
So it's not cool to shop at a big box retail any longer.
Sure.
And you have I think the thing is the consumer doesn't realize, like, some of these other brands are big box, but they don't feel big box.
Yeah.
They're like boutique. Brooks Brothers stores are huge.
They were. Yeah, or
And
are.
so, you get, like, you go to this world of a Billy Reed or a Todd Snyder,
Sid Mashburn.
a Sid Mashburn, where those are big brands, but they don't feel private equity or corporate.
Sure.
And so you lose your identity the bigger you get as a brand. And I think that intersection, I think you could say the same thing happened in a way to a J. Crew.
Yeah.
They just handled it a little bit better, perhaps.
Sure.
Where you get so big, you lose your identity. It's really hard to create marketing for a clothing brand now. It's all founder led.
No kidding. Yeah.
It's all, how long ago was it? I'm like, I don't ever want to be on a camera.
Yeah.
And now we literally do podcasts to do fun stuff, to show the people that work at the brand, to show the brand has a personality.
Sure.
And so I think you get so big, you lose that. The beauty of it is it can rise from the ashes.
Yeah. Here's to hoping.
We hope one day Charlotte will get one back.
And
Yeah.
from a historical perspective, they have so much to draw on.
Huge
I
amount.
think of literally every U.S. president. I think of Teddy Roosevelt and the Rough Riders, actually equipped with Brooks Brothers uniforms. It's wild to think. It seems like it's low-hanging fruit, really, for a brand that really has stood the test of time.
Yeah.
For sure.
All right, Bradley.
Brad, what is the third pick?
All right, so I'm going to go, you could go the whole franchise, but I'm going to talk about Ocean's 11. 2001,
Fun.
Brad Pitt, George Clooney, Matt Damon, a who's who.
Who are they?
Ever heard of them?
Are they up and coming or what?
So this for me, and I went back and watched it, I had a different take on it, but I remember in 2001, I'm in high school. Noah was in kindergarten, I think, perhaps.
6 years old. Yep.
6 years old. What struck me is you have the premise, they're robbing a casino, right? And this merry band of pseudo outcasts. And the adults in the room were Brad Pitt and George Clooney. They were the ones dressed in suits. And so it struck me as a freshman or sophomore in high school, like, all these guys were cool in their own way, but the guys that were running the show, that were cool, that were calling the shots, were the guys dressed well. And that kind of stuck with me with that movie. And again, it's across the franchise. How great were those characters
Phenomenal.
of George Clooney and Brad Pitt in that movie, of just that, the confidence they had, and that really stood out to me.
Absolutely.
Phenomenal pick.
Yep.
So good.
All right, you're up, Noah.
Okay, I'm going back again to copy you to quite similar time, 1999, The Talented Mr. Ripley. Now, Netflix just did Ripley. I don't know if you guys saw that. Was it
I did.
2 or 3 years ago?
It was
all in black and white.
It was a tough watch. It was very well done, but it was a tough watch.
It was slow at times. But Talented Mr. Ripley, the style is impeccable. And if there's one thing I can say in this podcast, I'm going to focus in right here. Stop calling it old money style. Right? It is classic American prep style that comes from this era. It's not old. I mean, it is, yes, it is that, but there's nothing lamer than calling something old money style, because the second you try to call it old money style, it's lame.
Yeah.
Just have a unique take or have classic American prep. That is what it is. That is what is in the film. That is why they look so great. That is why Gwyneth Paltrow has this cool look to her. That is why, that is what this all comes from. And the stuff we're talking about, Abercrombie and Fitch a minute ago, that's what they're doing now.
Yeah.
It's not the old money style. It's classic American prep with looser silhouettes, a little more flow is what we're seeing in a lot of brands now, that they're going to that, and I love it, and I think it's great. But that comes from this 1999, 2000s era, and I think it's so fantastic, but I'm just so sick of hearing old money style.
That is a total...
You can even say Ivy style. I'll even take Ivy.
I love Ivy style.
It's
That's
a
great.
social media Gen Z construct, I believe.
Yes.
Of calling it something. And I think aspirationally what they're saying is, I want to dress in this like aspiring style that shows I know what I'm doing without having to scream that I know what I'm doing.
Sure.
Correct.
You know? But yeah,
Labeling it is so lame, though, in my opinion.
A casual elegance.
100%.
to it
Yeah.
all.
100%. Yeah.
Yeah.
Look, what we won't get on our soapbox.
No. So that's all I had to say. Talented Ripley, 1999. If you haven't seen it, please go see it.
Oh, one of the best.
It's been out for a little while. No spoilers. He does die at the end. Anyway, Will, what is your next pick?
All right. 1987's Wall Street. Oliver Stone, of course. Just a real hallmark for 80s style and that particular aesthetic, the power suit, if you will. The Winchester shirts, you think like the white collar, the blue or pale pink body of the shirt and so forth. You think gold, right?
Gold Cartier.
Gold Cartier, exactly, on Gordon Gekko's wrists. Again, for me, it was a bit aspirational. I did watch it first on VHS, Noah.
Good.
But one that I've revisited over the years and one that's stuck with me. I don't think New York has ever looked finer, if you will. Even the opening credits, you've got Sinatra playing. You see the World Trade Center in the background. The hustle and bustle of Wall Street. That bull and bear, right?
The big ass cell phone.
Yeah.
The big cell phone
So
on the
great.
beach.
So great. In a robe as well.
So good.
It's just
Daryl Hannah,
indeed. And I also think, the soundtrack, Talking Heads, Naive Melody, just really through and through a marvelous film. And one that's a coming-of-age film, if you will.
Absolutely.
I think about Charlie Sheen's character, opposite his father in real life as well, Martin Sheen. Just a lot to take from it, a lot to glean from it. I suppose greed is good.
Greed is
with parameters.
Yeah.
And yourself, bro.
a little wild card here for me, but Crazy Stupid Love.
Okay, I'm listening.
This
All right, Mr. Gosling.
Ryan Gosling, Steve Carell. It's interesting. I saw this movie when it came out, but the middle-aged man coming of age of lost in the world, and Ryan Gosling is so great in this movie. And look, this is for all intents and purposes, a rom-com.
Right.
But Ryan Gosling is dressed so well. And the way he teaches Steve Carell, just a goofball, no style.
40-year-old virgin.
40-year-old virgin.
Different movie.
Was very inspiring
Yeah.
to me, because I thought, as a business owner who literally does this in a very different way than Ryan Gosling does it in the movie, we are...
Really? I had a pretty similar experience with you on our first. No, I'm just
Yeah.
kidding.
Jay will not take you out to bars and teach you how to pick up
Yeah.
others.
We did that last night.
Yeah.
But the thought of, hey, you can take somebody, you can teach an old dog new tricks, and you
Absolutely.
can really change their flow, their perspective. has a great ending, of course, as rom-coms do. But the idea of you can take a middle-aged man and you can dress him well and give him confidence to go out and have a great second, third act of
Sure.
life.
Absolutely.
Was very inspiring to me. And I took a lot of that to heart in terms of, again, this is a movie. Also, there's a Pappy Van Winkle shout out in the film, which I thought was great. But I just love the style of that more for what style can do for somebody.
Sure. And yeah, what a testament to the confidence he gains from going through that whole experience. Just the glow up, if you will, of having a great wardrobe and what it can really do for you. I will say, I think a lot of guys see that and they go, oh, this is what a stylist can do for me. Probably don't hire a stylist, just come to a phenomenal store. There's a lot of, or several, there's a handful, we'll say, of good ones in Charlotte. And I think I'm Switzerland on that front, but
we
Kidding.
can drop them here because we're certainly not gatekeepers. But I think a TRC does a great job, especially with they do a great job with everything, of
Absolutely.
course. But you can walk in and come out with a great, literally, I'd have to imagine they were going to a TRC-esque place in the movie.
Sure. And that's the great thing, taking it back a little bit when we were talking about Brooks Brothers. There was a gentleman I used to work with when I lived in Winston-Salem who was at the Greensboro store. He was great. He knew me. I knew him. Wonderful. But the experience you get from an OMJ or a TRC where it's Brad, it's Will, it's Scott or Doug or whoever at TRC, they know your sizing. They know when stuff comes in that you're going to, they know what fabrics, they know what, you have a wedding coming up. Hey, we should start thinking about that. That is the level of service you get from these phenomenal small businesses that makes the biggest difference in the world. And I think makes menswear a more approachable thing, because if it's menswear, if it's watches or whatever, these luxury goods, a lot of us coming in, it's intimidating. It was intimidating to me. It still can be at times to go in. I won't go into a Keaton boutique in Chicago necessarily, because I don't necessarily feel like I belong there. But then you have these phenomenal small businesses that give you access to these incredible goods and will walk you through that journey with no judgment. So that is my free advertisement.
I love it.
You can use that. Yeah,
That's fantastic.
Just about every city in America has an OMJ, a TRC.
Yeah.
And there's a lot more too. We have other
great ones in
competitors.
South Carolina as well.
You know, and it's not just, obviously you come here, Will and I, we'll work men, women, children, like we can work with anybody. But there's other places that we have people all the time, like they're very whimsical in their style. Now, I can certainly help them, but there's other places that there's something for everybody, I guess would be my point.
Sure.
And I think often it just takes a little encouragement. One thing that, and I've said this before, but I often hear guys say, I can't pull that off, or can I pull that off?
Sure.
And just getting that like extra nudge and the confidence it builds.
Oh, it's
It's
huge.
incredible. It goes beyond the cloth, if you will.
I got married in 2025, and 2013, I'm watching The Great Gatsby, and I'm going, wow, if I could only ever wear a white suit, that would be so cool. And then fast forward 2025, Scott at TRC is talking me into a white jacket for my rehearsal dinner. And I'm going, really? You think I can wear that? I don't know, Scott.
You're in Italy.
And then I loved it. And now I look for any excuse to wear it. It's so much fun. Yeah, so to make your point exactly, no matter even how long you've been in the menswear world, you still can get those feelings. And I think it's great to have someone to help push you through.
Absolutely.
We're gonna do one more movie each.
One more movie each. Fourth and final. So the thing about pilots is they will always tell you they are pilots, and then being now married to one, I will also tell you that because I'm so proud of my wife. So I'm going to go fourth and final, Top Gun 1986. So we've gone quite sartorial in our first three picks, and I thought it would be fun for this to harken back to that Ray-Bans and bomber jackets, a beautiful 356 Speedster driven by a lovely woman in the film. I think just all those elements coming together create something wonderful. I'm not a motorcycle guy, but Tom Cruise obviously is quite great motorcycle as well in the jacket with the glasses. I think it's so fun. And who doesn't love planes, obviously? But yeah, that is what I'm going with on my fourth and final.
That's such a vibe.
Yeah.
Such a vibe movie,
So
too.
great.
California.
Like I mean, I would say the same for the latest Top Gun as well. You
Still
could lump
fine.
that in there.
Yeah,
Just,
still great.
I think what I equate is, because I watch these movies. Obviously, we've talked more again on the dressier side of things, but
Sure.
with movies and cinema, the way you can build a vibe or stylishly fashion wardrobe. It doesn't have to be all suits, and as long as there's like consistency there, right? Like
Yeah.
it makes you want to go, perhaps play volleyball.
Sure. I was going to say, if this video gets 1,000 likes,
Top
three of
Gun
us
style.
will recreate that beach volleyball scene oiled up.
You don't have to ask me twice.
No, but just
Keep
to your
those
point.
likes coming.
Yeah, a great film, a great franchise, and just cool,
love it.
cool American
So
style. Will, fourth and
Well, in keeping with the danger zone, but
such a wonderful sense of humor. you have.
indeed, just incredible.
Never
I'm
stops.
going with 2000's American Psycho.
Okay. Yes.
Shocker.
So good. Mary Herron brought it to light on the silver screen, and just an incredible job. A real nod to, of course, Bret Easton Ellis's American Psycho, but it takes place in late 80s, New York, Wall Street again, specifically around the time of 1987. But it follows the life of 28-year-old Patrick Bateman. He was into murders and executions mostly.
And a great skincare routine.
The routine, come on.
Who has Googled the Patrick Bateman skincare routine?
Oh, absolutely.
Or done it.
Yeah.
Right? This morning. Can't you see this
This
glow?
is Will every morning.
But yeah, just again, another film that I've revisited innumerable times over the years that I've found myself just playing in the background while I've been doing chores around the house even. Indeed. And I've read the book 2 times over.
Yeah.
I strongly recommend it. I strongly recommend a chapter literally titled Whitney Houston, if that tells you anything. Just really phenomenal.
Can you clarify for me and the people at home? So in the film, he's wearing what looks like a Rolex Datejust, but it's actually a Seiko 5. I was under the impression in the book it does say don't touch the Rolex, but then Rolex just hated the concept of the character. So in the film adaptation, they changed it don't touch the watch. Is that correct?
You're totally correct.
Okay,
Yeah.
gotcha. So it was a Rolex Datejust two-tone in the book, allegedly, but then in the film they changed it for that reason.
Indeed. No, that's a great aside as well. Yeah, just the satire that pervades that film is just incredible. You can't help but find
Really gets
yourself.
you going there, doesn't
it? Really does. It really does. You can't help but find yourself wanting to emulate a lot of it.
Yeah.
Probably less.
Not all of it.
From a behavioral
Not all
standpoint.
of it, Will. Not on camera.
Well, in 224,
Yeah.
Will was doing Dancing with the Stars and recreated the whole Patrick Bateman.
Wait, did you really?
Phil Collins' studio.
Where was I?
I'll have to show you the video
Yeah.
later. We'll have to link that up in the show notes.
Yeah.
I was literally wearing a clear plastic raincoat, a double-breasted chalk gray suit.
That's amazing.
Pinstripes, of course, but a Winchester shirt, Hermes tie. It was really fantastic.
Yeah.
Will was, you know,
And I actually wore
Yeah.
my 1985 Rolex Datejust
yeah.
while dancing.
Anyway, enough on that. Brad, what is your fourth and final pick?
Thomas Crown Affair, specifically 1999, and Pierce Brosnan. And the story I have with this movie is on my wife's honeymoon in 2013. We were staying in Anguilla, this boutique hotel. They actually had this is before streaming, so they
Yeah.
had a DVD library.
Oh, it's fun. That'd be fun to bring back.
Yes, yeah,
Physical media.
analog. But that was the first time I ever watched Thomas Crown Affair. And I just remember I'm watching it. I'm like, man, what a great movie. I cannot believe I haven't seen this movie. It's been out at that time, 14 years.
Yeah.
And love Pierce Brosnan. We've got the JLC, famously the Reverso. He had a sponsorship with Omega at the time for the Bond movies. And so it was the Reverso, but they had edited out the JLC logo.
No kidding. I'll have to go back and look at that.
Yeah.
Huh. I didn't think about that.
And to this day, like that's still the one of the watches I want.
Yes.
Yeah, usually.
Here.
But the style is great. I think to the central theme of if you dress well and you carry yourself with a certain confidence, you can really kind of call your own shots in life.
Absolutely.
You can get away with, being an art thief.
Or a murder. Not looking at Will.
In another life, we maybe watch out.
Pete Pierce Brosnan, let's just say.
Pete
and,
Pierce
and Rene
Brosnan.
Russo as well. Just really fantastic.
So I think any stylish movies list has to include Thomas Crown Affair.
Yeah. There's a real through line of thieves and murders over here. I don't know if you guys noticed
Corporate
that,
raiders.
Yeah. Real
Everybody an
glorious
alternate personality, perhaps. So we'll stop there, but I have a few honorable mentions. Any honorable mentions for you guys?
Will.
So 1968 is the Thomas Crown Affair. Steve McQueen opposite Fade Down Away, just really fantastic. I think Persol sunglasses. I think Beacon
Always a
Hill. I
classic.
think Rolls Royce. I think it literally just has all the hallmarks of a sartorial masterpiece.
Solid. I'm going to go totally different. John Wick is mine.
I love it.
I think that character of John Wick, or to go to a TV series briefly, Ray Donovan, this rough assassin, murder guy, but like also very suave, very well dressed, I think is just such a fun concept.
Bulletproof suiting.
Yeah.
Keanu's so good.
Yeah.
So good. No, I had that as one of mine as well. It's interesting. I remember the scene where he's getting fitted for his bulletproof suit because it's like, how can this one guy take on all these people? Clearly,
Right.
he needs a bulletproof suit, and
Yeah.
literally just does this so while he's getting shot at, and he's okay.
Totally okay. What fabric is that? Do you know? Laura fabric?
Also,
or what?
interestingly, I have researched this.
Zinnia.
That would be a pretty heavy suit. You'd have
Yeah.
to do a pretty, instead of canvassing, you'd have to do a pretty substantial Kevlar.
I'm sure there's some countries out there with some leaders, if we'll call them, that
Yes.
have those kind of suits.
There's a guy in D.C. actually who makes bulletproof suiting.
Interesting.
So interesting.
For all the best people, I'm sure, right?
Yes.
Bruce Wayne.
Yeah.
Do a little spelunking.
Your local senator.
I'm sure. Any other honorable mentions?
That's all I've got.
Devil Wears Prada.
Oh.
Classic.
That Tori always makes fun of me because she's never seen the movie. But growing up, me and my mom would watch that a questionable amount because it was just on all the time.
Sure.
They
Great
came out with the
re-
second one.
Great
Right.
rewatchable movie.
Phenomenal.
Again, I think it's the life in that industry, right? There's a romantic piece of
Sure.
like caring and being passionate about your job.
Yep.
That you will literally go get a Harry Potter book.
Yeah.
For your boss. Like also
Manuscript, I think.
manuscript. Yeah, I would love to know with a younger generation. Is there anybody? Is the world like that anymore? Or would they just simply say no?
When I interned in New York, I was in style PR, and it was. Thank you, Jim. You were very nice. But
It's-
yeah, there were days that were absolutely like that, where it was, a client, not go get a manuscript from J.K. Rowling, but like, it was, hey, go and find a copy of this magazine. We got a placement in it. I need it in an hour. That thing. Oh, of course. Yeah.
Yep.
Pressure cooker.
Yep.
Yep.
It's great.
I've got The Gentleman, which they did a Netflix show on that. Great,
Phenomenal,
wonderful
yeah.
British.
The movie was great, and then, the
style.
show as well.
Let's see. Of course, The Godfather.
Yeah.
Some great style in that. Scarface.
Yeah.
Scarface,
Tenet.
Cocaine
Great.
Cowboys.
Yeah.
How about 1989's Batman? Tim Burton.
Truly.
Phenomenal. Absolutely.
Really great. That's one that I revisit quite often as well.
Yeah. All right, guys. This has been awesome. For everybody watching, we're just having fun here.
Yep.
Again,
Will
it's
is
subjective.
definitely not a murderer.
It's definitely not a Patrick Bateman.
I am a Gemini,
enthusiast.
so there is that dual personality thing.
But make sure to like this. Again, we're just having fun. We love this stuff.
Absolutely. It's just fun.
And we love hanging out with one another as well.
We do. If anything else, this is for us. But hopefully you took something away from it.
And a real treat to have Noah here.
to be
Awesome
here.
treat. And yeah,
I will spare him his life.
Yeah.
This time.
But yeah, we hope you guys have a great week. Subscribe. Also, we'll be doing a mailbag episode at some point.
Those are so much fun.
And we're going to take this live at some point.
Oh, that'll be cool.
So we'll record it, but we'll have it on Instagram Live as well.
Nice. That's fun.
So we'll start doing some more interactive, real-time questions.
Maybe with some bourbon.
Perhaps some bourbon.
Yeah.
And we may end up doing some different locale.
Sure. Yeah.
Maybe not just at the OMJ store proper. But anyways.
Seamlessly.
Yes.
How about that? But
Have a great week, everybody.
That's good.
Take care, guys.
See ya. So when you just buy and sell properties, so you're not laying the foundation. Oh, enter it.
I see.
I see. I almost got you there.
It's landlord tenant.
Yeah,
Come
okay,
on.
yeah. There's definitely no
Until there is no
cement
tenant.
foundations you're frequently laying. Gotcha.
I know where the bodies are buried, under the concrete.
Yeah,
in
'cause
the
you put them
concrete.
there.
Sure. Then I built the building.
Truly. Patrick Bateman.
Yes.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Could be.
Yeah.